So, I just got back from the buffet. Obviously, I took it home with me. Whether it's an all-you-can-eat, sit-down and dine, take-home, whatever, salad bar buffet, here's how you can eat beautifully at the buffet and have energy and feel full and enjoy yourself and win, 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 and not get crashing later and destroying your pancreas and committing pancreatic suicide and all those things. So here's how you do it. And please share this video if you dig it, because a lot of people would like to know stuff like this, I'm sure. And if you dig this stuff, my website, TomBerkenmeyer.com, take out the space, all lowercase, just like it's spelled here on social media, TomBerkenmeyer.com. So let's get going. I'm going to flip this camera around, and I hope you get a lot of value out of this. I know you will. Okay, camera's flipped. I'm going to teach you an acronym that I learned from Dr. Joel Fuhrman, medical doctor, one of the few good medical doctors. Thank goodness they exist. It's called GBOMBS. GBOMBS. So what does that stand for? So every time I'm at the buffet, or every day I should say, I'm thinking about how to get all these things in my diet every day for an optimal, awesome diet that's very anti-cancer and anti-disease of any kind, really, and pro-energy and pro-youthfulness, right? And so GBOMBS stands for greens. So I got my greens right here. I got some spinach at the salad bar. If you see some arugula at the salad bar, go for that. So any kind of green is going to be loaded with micronutrients. In fact, this whole thing is going to be loaded with micronutrients and less macronutrients. So it's less calories and more nutrition. That's already beautiful, right? So the greens are going to be loaded with phytochemicals, trace minerals, vitamins, living enzymes, and it's all raw. And I have no salad dressing on any of this, just so you know. No oils, no sugars, no salts, none of that stuff. And it still tastes phenomenal. Okay, so the arugula is going to have, if you find arugula, that's going to have more of a peppery kind of taste, but it's also, it has a special talent for being a blood purifier. Really cleanses the blood as well as the liver and creates a healthy spleen for healthy red blood cells, as does dandelion green, or dandelion roots, if you can ever find dandelion greens and dandelion roots too, but any green will do. So that's the first of the GBOMBS is greens. Next, we got beans, the B part of the GBOMBS. So I got some beautiful red kidney beans. No added salt, no sugar, none of that stuff. Just beautiful dark red kidney beans. Beans are also powerful anti-cancer. They got a lot of fiber, as everybody knows, but I'm not sure everybody knows that beans is going to pull fat out from your blood, fat cells from your body. It's going to pass them through with your stool into the toilet. So beans are incredibly useful for just cleaning out your gut, promoting good bacterial growth, and losing weight or just maintaining weight, and powerfully anti-cancerous. So that's G, B, greens and beans. Next on GBOMBS is O for onions. So I got some raw whenever possible, okay guys? Onions, another powerful anti-cancer fighter, powerful antibacterial. Onions are amazing. I love getting raw onions in my diet every day. Plus, they're so flavorful, too. So after onions, let's see, GBOMBS, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms for the M in GBOMBS. So I got these beautiful portobellos here. You can get all kinds of different kinds of mushrooms. Mushrooms, these are raw, by the way. Mushrooms are great for, mushrooms do not allow fat cells to grow in your body. Did you know that? Mushrooms don't allow fat cells to grow in your body. And they also don't allow tumor cells to grow in your body. And they're very anti-cancer. And they're also a superfood for the thyroid. And there's been cases of people that have their thyroid surgically removed, and then they go on a diet of mushrooms every day, like a cup or so of mushrooms every day, in conjunction with a plant-based whole food diet. And they grow within about 14 months, they actually grow a thyroid back from nothing, and it's fully functional, and they require no medications. They're off of, where is it going with that? And other people with different thyroid diseases too have been able to heal themselves by eating mushrooms in conjunction with a plant-based whole food diet. Now, here's my little disclaimer. I'm not telling you anything to undermine any advice you've gotten from a healthcare professional. And I'm not telling you what to do in this video, just giving you information that I hope you find valuable. Do your own research and be safe, okay? So what's next after mushrooms? After mushrooms is going to be, let's see, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries. B, berries. So I got these beautiful blueberries in here, and I got these raspberries. Blueberries, a superfood for the brain, It's also anti-inflammatory. All this is anti-inflammatory, but this is especially anti-inflammatory and a superfood for the brain and blood sugar friendly. Put out the fires in your bones and joints and muscles and other connective tissue. The raspberries, like the mushrooms, those also do not allow tumor cells to grow or fat cells. Pretty cool, right? And berries, especially raspberries, are also a superfood for the skin to rejuvenate the cells in your skin to just give you really young, youthful, glowing, beautiful skin. Wear less makeup, less cover-up, right? Let's see, what's after berries? After berries is S for G bombs, which is going to be seeds. So I got raw pumpkin seeds. I got some raw sunflower seeds in there too somewhere. Some of that's kind of buried beneath everything. Seeds are also very anti-cancerous. And they've got healthy fats. So instead of any oil, like, the salad dressing is going to have oil. Most salad dressings have oil in them. I don't do those kinds of salad dressings. I don't do oil because oil isn't going to have the fibers. It's okay to have more fat in your diet as long as you're getting the fibers to go with those fats. If you're just getting oils, even if it's healthy oil like coconut oil and extra virgin olive oil and all those other oils, that's just oil. It's too much concentration of oil, and it's not coming with the other fibers that it's supposed to be coming with, so it's going to clog your insulin receptors. Even healthy fat, even if you eat no meat and no dairy, you can be vegan or vegetarian and still develop diabetes because your diet is too high in fat, and with a high fat diet it clogs your insulin receptors, which obviously leads to prediabetes and diabetes. So if you're going to get more fat in your diet, let it be only in the form of natural whole food fats like these seeds, nuts, seeds. Walnuts are great. I don't have any walnuts in this dish, but walnuts are a great source of fat. It's also a superfood for the brain. It can clear out gray matter from the brain, and it's got the fat that you need, and it's got the fibers to go with the fat so that it does not clog your insulin receptors. So this is how I get my fat, is by eating natural whole foods. I don't do oils. And there's oil-free dressings. You can even go to my website and look for oil-free dressings, and typically I'll use walnuts. Most of the time I'll do walnuts to make my oil-free dressing. And if I need a sweetener, same thing, whole food sweeteners. I don't add any sugar to anything. If I need to sweeten something up, I might add a date or a fig and puree that up along with my whole nuts and seeds to get the fat that way, so it comes with everything it's supposed to. Okay, and another couple things I added. So that's the G-bombs. Use that as a guide every day, friends. Make sure you're getting your G-bombs every day. It's going to be a huge help. That's greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. And then I added some red cabbage in here as well. Head of a cabbage is a superfood for the brain, like a lot of other things here are. And cabbage is also number 3 as far as most powerful cancer fighter foods in the world. So I like to eat cabbage regularly. And I've also got some cauliflower in here, not part of the G-bombs. But cauliflower is also another superfood for the brain. So I'm eating a lot of superfoods for the brain here. Maybe that's my body trying to tell me something. I also put tomatoes, a couple tomatoes in here. Tomatoes has 4 chambers, like the heart. It's a superfood for the heart. It can help the heart literally to repair itself. Just tomatoes do. Tomatoes are amazing foods. So here you go. Well-balanced food. There's no dairy, no meat in here whatsoever. There's no salt. There's no sugar. There's no salad dressing that has any oil. I might put a spritz of like some vinegar or some lemon juice in there instead of a salad dressing. Some guy with his loud motorcycle compensated for something else, I don't know. But yeah, just you can search my website for oil-free dressings. There's plenty of options out there for stuff like that. But there's no oil, anything in there, no salt, no sugar. Just natural, plant-based, whole food, everything. And I got my G-bombs. So I'm going to put this back on me and close this video off. Okay, hello everyone. Marcy, Christy, Linda, Jamarie, Linda, Natalie, and someone's asking, is this a repeat or maybe just talking about dressings and salads? This is, the one I did yesterday wasn't complete, and there's other things I just forgot to talk about, so I wanted to do it again today. Went back to the same buffet salad bar, pretty much got the same foods, and I wanted to do this video again and make sure I didn't miss anything important. So that's why I did this just now, to answer your question. You're very welcome, Lynn, Lady Celine. Very nice to see you. Hi, Natalia. So, it was a much bigger audience yesterday. Today, it's Saturday, so everyone's probably out and about. So if you want to leave comments, or we're still live right now, if anybody has any comments or questions you have while I'm here, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to close this out really soon. And for those of you watching the recording, leave your comments, and I'm sure I'll check back, I'll see it, and I'll be able to answer your questions later. You're welcome, Land. Hope you all got a lot of value from this. There's a lot of value in this thing. Just look at my freaking skin. I'm going to be 40 in like a week. I regularly, just yesterday as a matter of fact, I was guessed to be 20-something years old, and I'm nearly double that. And my skin, by the way, is just, it's a byproduct and symptomatic of healthy, rejuvenating internal organs and blood and everything that's happening on the inside. The skin is just a byproduct of that. If you got really, unhealthy, old-looking skin, then there's a good chance your internal organs are also suffering. It's very telling. I'm not kidding. And these foods that I just showed you, using the GBOM acronym as a guide for how I pick my foods out, not just at the buffet, but also the grocery store and, wherever, just in my daily life. GBOMs is such an awesome guide, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is a beautiful plate. What am I missing? I'll go through the GBOM. Oh, M for mushrooms. Okay. Need some mushrooms. Get some mushrooms in there. Maybe I'm missing berries or seeds or onions. Who knows? Do I know of any plant-based foods to elevate mood? I know I do. I'm having a hard time thinking of them right off the top of my head. I'm going to say any kind of a berry, because berries have natural sugars, but the glycemic effect is almost nothing. So without raising your blood sugars, you're going to get an elevation in mood, like raspberries and blueberries, possibly strawberries, stuff like that. I would certainly stay away from anything with an excitotoxin in it, or anything that has a sugar isolate, because those things might make you feel okay in, the interim, but down the road, and then you create a physical addiction and dependence on those things, which really makes you feel bad. Kind of like how drugs work, because that's what they are, actually. Excitotoxins and sugars and fake sugars, it's a drug. But legally we don't treat it as that, because it makes pharmaceutical companies lots of customers. So focus more on berries. Oh, I know, Linda. 2 handfuls of cashews has the same therapeutic effect as a dose of Prozac. Raw, unsalted cashews. And if you want to, probably a good idea, soak them in water for at least a few hours and get them sprouting, because then they're going to have even more energy. And things that sprout, like nuts, berries, seeds, beans, legumes, anything that you can sprout it, and you can eat it, and that's when it's going to have the most energy, is when it's sprouting. Also, just before its death, like at the end of its life, when it's just about to start rotting, that's the other point in a plant's life, when it has the most energy, and mood lifters too, for that matter, because energy is a mood lifter. And then everything in between those phases, between birth, like when it's sprouting, and death, when it's just about to start rotting, still good, but not as much energy. It's kind of interesting. The doc wants you to take Prozac. And Linda, this goes back to my disclaimer. I don't want anybody, because I got to protect myself too. I'm not giving any advice here whatsoever, let alone advice for anybody to go against doctor's orders. But I do encourage you to research this stuff, look into cashews, and if you decide to try cashews, make sure you take personal responsibility. And I would even suggest, talk to a naturopathic doctor as well. In fact, I got that bit of wisdom from, who did I get it from? I can't remember his name at the moment, but he's an orthomolecular doctor. And he said 2 handfuls of raw unsalted cashews has the same therapeutic effect as a dose of Prozac. I thought that was... So me personally, if I, needed a mood booster where I felt like, wow, I'm really so far gone, I'd consider Prozac. Me personally, I'm not telling you what to do, but I would do the cashews thing. And I would document it. I would see, what effect it has. See if that orthomolecular doctor knew what he was talking about. But I just remember hearing that. And he had a case study, too, that he mentioned somebody severely depressed had brought her out, and she was happy, and it was pretty cool. So I hope that helps. Share this, people, and my website again, tomberkenmeyer.com, if you dig this kind of stuff. And also, if you guys love health and fitness and wellness like I do, and you love learning, and you even like sharing with other people things that you learn because it's going to help people out, right? You like that kind of stuff? And you're sincerely interested in learning how to make money by those ideas, by spreading and perpetuating health and fitness, and private message me, okay? I'm recording this at my house right now, by the way, the one I paid for in cash. And I have no job, no boss, and I paid my house in cash, and I travel and I do cool things and I have no job, because I do stuff like this, because I love learning and teaching about health and wellness. So if you'd like that idea to be able to do those things where you get your time freedom and more options available to you in life, then private message me and share this video for the contents in it that can help a lot of people. So everyone loves buffets, but we'd all like to have our cake and eat it too, you know? A win-win. How do I go to the buffet and enjoy myself and get healthy? Most people's train of thought is, if I'm going to do the buffet, I'm just going to sacrifice my health for a day, because it's going to be one or the other. But I'm saying this is how you can have both. Win-win. Bought a can of mixed nuts, peanuts, walnuts, pecans, almonds, hazelnuts. I will look for cashews. Linda, the can of mixed nuts that you got with all those different kinds of nuts, odds are they're probably baked and cooked and probably have no nutritional value, and they're probably salted and this and that. I've never seen a mixed can of nuts that's any good, unfortunately. I hate to say that. So if you do cashews, you know, get the raw, unsalted, and soak them in water for a couple of hours so they start sprouting before you eat them, for extra benefits. You're welcome. Raw nuts, seeds, fruits, and veggies are the best. Totally yes, Denise. Totally yes, I'm a wordsmith. Totally, yes, totally. Alright, so if there's nothing else, I'll let this go for another minute. I gotta get my ass in gear. I gotta be somewhere here soon. But this was a lot of fun to make. G-bombs. Plus a few extras I went over in this video for you right there. And if you're just now joining us, and this will be on my Facebook timeline like within a minute after I click finish, you can go back and watch. Where do I get them? In the bulk section? Yeah, usually that's where I see them, Linda, is in the bulk section. But, you know, they're mixed in the bulk section too, so you have to literally read raw. If it doesn't say raw, odds are it's probably not. And I have seen them bagged as well, especially when it comes to cashews and walnuts and pecans. Those are probably my three favorites: cashews, walnuts, and pecans. And you can get them in a bag, you can get them in the bulk section. Just make sure either or it says raw. If it doesn't, it's no good. Alright, that about does it, because I do got to get moving. So share this, and I'll speak to some of you soon who are interested in making money with health and wellness and like that kind of thing. And I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. I'll be doing another video with amazing health tips really, really soon. Like health tips that you won't believe because they're so unbelievable. But you just got to be around to see it, to believe it. I'm glad you guys like dorks. Okay, bye for now.